welcome to a new video. In this video I am going to teach you the second chapter of Unit 2 of 12th education book. Okay, so this chapter is factors influencing learning. Let's start. So there are various factors which influence the learning process. Okay, there are physiological factor, there are psychological factor, there are pedagogical factor. So what are the physiological factors? The important physiological factors are the organism and perception, time of day and learning, environmental condition, sex difference in fatigue, age. These are the physiological factor related to your physical nature. Okay, then psychological factors are motivation, its various aspects, and the level of motivation and level of intelligence. This is physiological factor. No, psychological factor related to mental aspect. And the pedagogical factors are learner related factors, factor related to learning material, factor related to methodology, school factor, and home factors. So first is physiological factor. So physiological factor is related to your physique and related to physical nature. So the loss the loss of or defect in any of the senses will impoverish knowledge and learning. The learner's perception depends upon the multiple sense appeal. Perception not only implies sense impressions but also cognition of a number of facts associated with the object perceived. So you use your senses to gather knowledge, to gather information. If your senses are defective, then the knowledge and the information that you gather is not right and is not wholly correct. So this is a physiological thing, and this has a lot of importance in the learning process. Main points are like this. Okay, fatigue means muscular. It can be muscular, it can be mental, and it can be of other types. Muscular fatigue is attributed to presence of toxic waste, which mental fatigue ends in boredom. If there is a physical fatigue, your muscles will have toxic wastes and your muscle will not work rightly. If you have mental fatigue, you will be bored. Boredom will come in you. The major effect of fatigue on the learning process is accompanying the disposition against sustained intellectual activity. Eye strain, posture, and atmospheric conditions are important factors which together get the name of mental fatigue. So first we knew the defect in the sensory receptors, that is also a point of physiological factor. Then the second was of fatigue. Third is time of day conditions learning. The time when you learn is also important in learning process. The popular opinion is work done in early hours of the day is easily learned. However, the experimental studies by which Gates, Heck, and many others indicate there is a little variation in the efficiency throughout the school day. So, time of the day condition of learning, it was thought that the early hours are very good, rather the best to learn, but by the new studies it is said that it differs from people, from man to man. Someone may love to learn in the early morning hours, and at the same time the other one will love to learn in the evening time or the night time, and that time of learning is suitable for them. So it varies students to student and man to man. Then the fourth is environmental condition, how your environment is. If there is a lot of noise, if there is thunderstorm going around, you cannot learn. Your environment should be suitable for learning. So this is the environmental condition which come in the physiological factors which influences the learning process. Then then the important is sex differences in fatigue. At a early stage of childhood, the both boys and girls appear equally energetic. There is some evidence that during the secondary school years, in particular, girls are more uh, susceptible to strain and worry than the boys. In spite of that, results provide otherwise. Girls want to excel boys, whatever the case may be. Okay, this is a little difference between the boys and girls, that boys and girls are both equal in the early stage, but in secondary stage when they go to school, the girls are more uh, attracted towards the studies. They are more serious about the studies, but the boys are a little non-serious, you can say. But it is not that much big problem, but there is the presence of this difference. The physiological factor is over. The main points of physiological factor is the organization of sensor receptors of organism, fatigue, time of the day condition of learning, environmental condition, and sex differences in fatigue. These are the physiological factors which influence the learning process. You can take screenshot of this if you want. Then the psychological factor. In psychological factor, motivation, level of intelligence are two important things. What is motivation? Motivation is one of the basic condition of learning. Motivation in simple language means getting moved or interested. Learning is directly proportional to our interest in learning. Therefore, the first and the foremost function of a teacher is to create interest in the student in learning. So, motivation comes when you have interest in something to learn about. You have some, what do you call, feeling of that is my goal, that is my aim. If I get there, I will get this, that that is when motivation comes. Okay, so it is the important function of teacher to create interest, to create motivation in a student to learn. That is called motivation, and it is a psychological factor. Then level of intelligence. Learning to a considerable extent depends upon the level of intelligence of the learner. Though the teacher cannot do much in this regard, because the level of one's intelligence determined by the heredity, the knowledge of the level of intelligence of the learner can greatly help the teacher to devise methods of teaching suited to the learner. So intelligence is cannot be created by teacher or any outsider. Intelligence is there in a child by its heredity, by its where he or she is born. More or less, mostly, intelligence is God gifted. Everyone have different level of intelligence, and according to their intelligence, the teaching process varies. from child to child, from student to student. Okay, like this. So the teacher have a very important work, that is to know how much intelligence, which type of intelligence a child has, and to give that kind of teaching, that type of teaching to him or her, which suits his or her intelligence, and he can catch that easily. That type of teaching should be provided. So level of intelligence and motivation are two psychological factors which influence the learning process. Then so I forgot to tell you that the pedagogic factor is not important. Okay, the physiological and the psychological factor are more important, most important for the exam. Okay, in the second part we will learn in this video, okay, factors related to learning material. Okay, learning material, briefly, the appropriateness of content or the subject matter. This means the matter should be appropriate to the age level and maturity level of the learner. This facilitates learning. Okay, so the what the study material is should be in line with the age level of a student. Like this, you will not teach a plus b and its whole square to a first standard child or a UKG LKG child. Like that, you will not teach a for apple b for ball to a graduation student. This, the level of teaching should be in line with the level, the age level. This age students should be taught this age student should be taught this, like this. So the appropriateness of content or subject matter should be there. Then systematic presentation, the topics should be presented in such a manner that that age group will catch and understand what is being taught. Third is illustration. Illustration means to show them something and to for explanation, easy understanding, to show them charts, maps, tables, and visible things that will arouse interest in them, and that will make them, that will to some extent turn on their motivation in them, and illustration therefore is very important. Then correlatedness. Correlatedness means to show them that, to show the students that the this thing and this thing and that thing are interrelated, and then teach them about those things. That will make a connectionism in their mind to connect the dots and to learn. So these 4 points are important in factor related to learning material, and these are also an influencing factor for factors in the learning process. The appropriateness of subject matter, systematic presentation, illustration, correlatedness. Then the method of teaching. There are various method of teaching. We will discuss some important method of teachings, like effective method of teaching. In this method of teaching, mostly poor learning is a result of a full determined. So this effective method of teaching means teaching like such a teaching method that the last bencher, the backbencher, will also understand what is being taught. The explanation should be very simplified, and these methods should be used, and like this teaching method should go. Then the clarity of presentation comes in method of teaching. Verbal explanation and audio visual explanation, illustration, and like this. These things will make clarity in the presentation. Okay. Then providing direct experiences. If you provide direct experiences to the students, they will learn, they will understand, and clarity will come in their mind that what is being taught. They will not have this kind of thinking that what is taught we cannot understand, we will not understand, and like this things will not come in their mind. So direct experiences should be provided. Like you are teaching about them about animal, you will take them to a zoo, or you will show them animals around the schoolyard, and like this. If you are teaching about birds, you will show them birds, how the bird flies and nest making, all this. So this is all. In my next video I will teach you next part, the school factor and the home factor and method of learning. Okay, till then, if you like the video, like, share and subscribe the channel. Like this videos will come frequently from now, so do subscribe. Don't forget to press the bell icon to get updates. Thank you for watching.